Hi, this is Terry from Fabric Junction, and today I'm going to show you a couple of things about a raggy quilt. If you've never made one, most of the time they're done with nice squares. And I'll show you on the quilt behind me. You will see just squares. Sewn together, raggy one side, nice and clean on the other side. That's more traditional. Well, this particular quilt has a few different pieces. Half square triangles, a square and a square, to create this wonderful pattern of flowers. Let me get to the other side. A sun and flowers and grass. So to give you an idea on how this one was made, and this one actually was made with, let's see, batiks. Normally we make them in flannel, but this is to show you that batiks works just as well. So I have some of the pieces done. Half square triangle, here's a square and a square. So it's as simple as we're going to make two identical pieces. And in this case, we're going to fill a corner, which would be like this piece right here. To do that, we mark our smaller square. We have our larger square. We're going to sew corner to corner. I'm going to trim it, press it to one side. Now we've created our two pieces that look identical. So the next is we use batting that is cut a little smaller, and you line it up. As you see, I've got both my green. I line up my two greens. Now for quick, I just stitched in the ditch, and I already know my back's never going to line up. But my friend very smartly did a different type of stitch in each one. She just played. She did a little flower kind of there, a different type of flower here, leafy, just something different in each block, because she was just kind of playing and working on her free motion quilting. She added beads and all of that kind of fun stuff. So I'm just going to do kind of a little squiggly. When you do that though, you want to make sure that you are not quilting in this section of your pieces. Stay on the batting, because when you put it together you'll have all that other stitching out in an area where you don't want it. So I'm just going to squiggle my way across this just to kind of, and there's my end. I'm going to stop. Okay, so I've got a nice little squiggle. I got my two sections together. Now when we sew our pieces together for Raggy, we want to sew right up to where, let me open this up, the edge of the batting. So we need to line that batting up, and I like to make sure my batting is lined up, even if my fabric is a little bit off. I like to make sure that my batting is lined up, because it's a raggy quilt. All my little shifts in the fabric are not going to show after it's all sewn together. It won't be near as noticeable, I should say, after it's all together. So our next step, we want to get nice and close. And one way to get nice and close, I didn't grab my foot. Let me grab my zipper foot. The zipper foot, even though you may never use it to put a zipper in, works really nice when you want to get close to the edge of something, which is what I would like to do, is get nice and close to that edge. And I will stitch it, find that edge, and I will stitch it all the way through. There we go. And my needle is to my left. My zipper foot sets to the right, so it's stitching on the lower side of the pieces. And that'll be my Raggy side. So now when I put it together, let's flip this so I match my Raggy side together. I will match those that seam up with the other side. Try to match up my batting again. Let me slip a pin in there. Find where my batting. And you can put your piece together in sections like this, or you can do it in long rows. Either way. But we will need to get to where, oops, pull my pin, check my corner. Because of the way the batting is in there, you can really feel the difference between the batting and just the 4 layers. You might want to back stitch a little because of the weight and what we're doing, but once you have it together, you have all your raw edges going one way, all your clean edges in this case are the back of the quilt. Then get a pair of scissors, and you'll want a spring-loaded pair because your hands are going to get tired. So you fold it, and now you're going to come back and you're going to just go through and cut. I like to cut about anywhere from 1/4, no more than 1/2, and just kind of eyeball it because you get a little better fray that way. And then just go through and just keep cutting them all the way across till you get this fray. And then, of course, you know, after you launder it, that will fray that much more and create this wonderful look on your Raggy quilt. Of course, flannel's going to fray more, batique's going to fray less, but it still creates a great look for a Raggy quilt. So you need a nice pair of scissors, remember that part. And if you decide you want to do the quilt that's hanging behind me, we do have the pattern in our store that you can go on junctionfabric.com to get the pattern. She called it Nature's Amens, that has these beautiful flowers and makes a great Raggy quilt. Do check us out on Facebook, our website, junctionfabric.com. Thank you for watching.